Hi kitty cats. So I'm gonna do a Mask Monday, and I got this in an Ipsy bag. It's called Hey Honey, and that's the name of the company, which I really love this company. I've had other stuff from it, moisturizers, primers, lip products. Just I love this. This is Sweet Treat Wild Berry and Honey Yogurt Recovery Mask. Restore the appearance of dull skin. So, rich antioxidant restorative treatment, reviving dull and tired looking skin. I don't know if my skin is dull and tired looking, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. And I've got this great mask applicator. Applicator is the Pro Makeup Silicone Face Exfoliator Mask Applicator. So if you use this side, can you see it? Let me focus a little bit. See how it's got those? So it kind of exfoliates while, you know. Also, okay. While you put it on, or you can just use the other side. I like to use the exfoliating side. So I'm gonna put this on. Yeah, the only thing with the exfoliating side, it's not working well with this one. I've used other masks with it and it worked well, but this one, it goes too far into the, so we're gonna use this side instead. Yeah, that's working better. I used the exfoliator with a clay mask and it worked really well, but I think this one is a yogurt mask. It's too creamy to use on that side, and it ended up filling into the little cracks. But it is nice to use with the clay mask because it gives some exfoliation. But didn't work with this one. So this feels nice. It's nice and creamy and thick, but not too thick. I don't want to get in that crack there because I get dry skin there really easily. And we need to do this part. I like to get in between my eyebrows. Try not to get in my hair, but it's happening. It's happening. Okay, I think that's good enough. So, you have to go to Hey Honey for directions, but I think it says 15 minutes to new skin, so I'm assuming that you put it on, you know, but let's go take a look at directions anyways, right? I'm gonna go on the computer, Hey Honey. I look so weird, huh? This stuff all over my face. And then go to masks. And okay, Wild Berry and Honey Yogurt Recovery Mask. It is $48 for the full size, which is pricey. That's why I don't have a lot of Hey Honey products. If it was about half the price, I would buy it in a heartbeat, but $48 is way too pricey for me. So just apply a generous layer over face and neck to effectively hydrate skin. Leave on for approximately 15 minutes of relaxation. Finally, wipe off the excess and gently rinse with water. So, wipe it off with a face cloth afterwards, and then rinse off. And that's the mask. Wild Berry and Honey Yogurt Recovery Mask. It has 35 reviews and it seems to have 5 stars, so that's good. I smell, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so while we're waiting the 15 minutes, which we've already had it on my face for like at least a minute, I'm gonna set the timer For 14 minutes. And go. Okay. So in the meantime, we'll have a little chit chat like we do when I do a Mass Monday. So today, a friend on Instagram put in her stories that she was really kind of freaked out because the police were outside with dogs and there were shining flashlights in the window. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't do that, you know. But I hope everything's okay. You know who you are. And I'm sure I'll find out if everything's okay or whatever, because I'm sure you'll put it on your stories. But it made me think of shit that happened to me when I was younger. So Bianca was little. I think she was like a toddler, and I had this basement apartment in New York, and it was Albany, New York. And John had just started living with me, and so it was our first time like living together. It wasn't good back then. It was not a good fit at the time. And so anyways, we were sleeping, and my bedroom was in the back of the apartment, and the back door was right next to my bed that went out onto a deck. So John and I were sleeping, and I woke up and looked outside, and there was a police officer out there with a dog sniffing around. And I got up and I was like, John, wake up. Like, there's a cop outside. And he immediately like jumped up and was like freaked out. And I went out into the living room kitchen area. Well, I went down the hallway to that area, and I heard like a whole bunch of noises going on upstairs, the apartment above me. And by the way, it was Thanksgiving. So it was crazy. This was so crazy. And so there's all these noises. It's really crazy. And I look outside out the windows, and I see like police officers everywhere, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And the people that live above me, they've been gone for like a few weeks. They've always been really nice to me. They were two gentlemen, and they always were courteous, and I never had any issue with them. So the police officers finally knock on my door. Oh, and there was like a huge bang. They actually broke the front door to the apartment building, which I was pissed, because it was like, dude, if you had just asked, I would have opened that door for you. Like, why did you need to break down our front door? It really, really pissed me off. The manager took care of it, but it was just like great, you know, because it was this pretty secure building, so that you didn't have to worry about people like getting into the apartment building, because the front door was always locked. And like I said, if the police officers had just rung the bell, I would have come out and been like, hey, who are you? But no, let's break down the door. Anyways, so they asked about the people upstairs, and they were like, have you seen them? And I was like, no. And they were like, have you ever spoke to them? And I'm like, yeah, like in passing. Like, they've always been very polite to me and super nice, and you know, like no problems. Like, there's not a lot of noise. It's been fine. And they were like, so you haven't seen a lot of people going in and out? And I was like, not really. I was like, no more than normal. Like, I didn't know what to say. And they kept asking me all these questions, and then it turned out that they were doing like a drug raid. They had expected to get there, and these guys were supposed to have like lots of drugs. I guess they were supposed to be like selling drugs, drug dealers. And I was in shock. I was like, are you sure? Like, they're like the nicest people. And apparently they also had stolen like a lot of stuff from an electronics store or something. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, that was more believable to me, because it's like, I mean, nice people. Like, they may have been nice to me, but that doesn't mean that they, you know, don't steal things. And they never stole anything from me. So, whatever. But, yeah, the police were just, like, really, like, yeah, have you seen, like, you know, did you see them taking lots of boxes upstairs? And I was like, honestly, no. I was like, if they're doing this stuff, like, they must have done it while we were sleeping. Like, and I mean, John and I are definitely late sleepers, so I mean, they could have done that stuff early in the morning. We wouldn't have even noticed. So after the police left, I actually went up there to their apartment, and there were, like, lots of empty boxes, and there was a TV just sitting there. We did not take it. It wasn't even like a nice TV. It wasn't like a flat screen or anything. It was like an older TV, and I was just like, okay, whatever. Were flat screens around then? I think flat screens were around then. This is how old I am. I mean, Bianca was little, and she's gonna be 21 in January, so that's like quite a while ago. Oh my gosh, one of the cats are acting so weird. What's wrong, girl? What's wrong? What's wrong? She does this sometimes. She just meows. Usually she has something in her mouth, like a piece of hay or something, and she's decided that it's hers and she needs to, like, tell everybody, but this time she's just, like, sitting under a chair meowing. I don't know what her deal is. I think my robe is partly under the chair, like it's hanging off the back of the chair. I think she's gonna, looks like she's making biscuits on that, because it's very soft. But anyways, yeah. Crazy story, right? That was pretty much the end of it. Like, nobody ever, like, moved up to that apartment again either. We had a manager move in for a while, but he moved up to the, like, 4th floor, which was this really weird, tiny apartment. And he was really weird, and he, like, claimed I wasn't supposed to have cats, but it was in my lease that I had cats, although it only said 2, and we did at the time have, like, 4 or something, and it was too much. It was too many cats there, I agree. But that was because John moved in with his cats, and I think we had 5, so it was a lot. And yeah, we did have a lot of cats. The only cats though from then that are here now are Noki and Jack. That, you know, I mean, and we brought them all here. I almost didn't bring Noki here. I almost gave her away because I was worried about us having too many cats, but then at the last minute I was just like, no, I want to keep her. She's my kitty, you know? So, and then crazy stuff happened with her when we moved here, but that's like totally other stories. But yeah, that was interesting day, just like interesting Thanksgiving to start out like that. And then I just started cooking. I was just like, okay, so that happened. Now we have no front door. I'm gonna make some food. That's how I am all the time. When crazy stuff happens, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go make some food now. Like, it's just the way I've always been. When my father passed away, I immediately went into the kitchen and started peeling potatoes, and my sister was like, what are you doing? And I was like, there's gonna be a lot of people, so I need to make food. And I was right. A lot of people came because to just, you know, be there for my mother or whatever, and it was kind of crazy. But yeah, I made a ton of food. Every time something tragic or something weird or anything happens, I immediately am like, oh, I should make some food now. I don't know why, but it's just like ingrained in me to like go make food when things are happening. I guess it's my way of like just deflecting it, the situation or something, just being like, okay, that's not there, you know, right back at you because I'm gonna do this and pretend that everything is fine. And that's kind of like what I've always done. Wow, this mask hasn't not been 15 minutes yet, and that's crazy to me. It feels like it has been. It's close. I have like 4 minutes left. So anyways, yeah. That's my crazy story. And it just came to me when I thought that. I do hope that she is okay, my friend, because I like her a lot. She's a very, very sweet person and such a fighter. And I just hope that she's okay, that whatever's going on is not going to bother her in any way. And cops will just go away and leave her alone with their dogs and their flashlights and all that. Yeah, I'll never forget waking up and just being like, Jack! Because there was like a police officer in the backyard on my deck. And I freaked out. So, those were the days. That apartment. It was a really cute apartment, but it was way too small for the three of us. It was just too small. When it was just me and her, when I first got that apartment, it was just me and my daughter, and that was fine. It was, you know, it was cute. We had everything we needed. But then when John moved in, he brought so much stuff with him, and it just was too much for such a small area. And then the extra cats, it was just like there are too many animals in here, and it was really crazy. I mean, we have a lot of animals now, but we also have a lot of space, so it's just like, okay. But yeah, it was a crazy apartment. And the landlord was completely nuts. I think I went through about 5 managers while I was there. A lot of them quit because the landlord was nuts. Even the last guy, the last manager, he was kind of mean, but he also, in the end, was just like, oh my god, this is insane. Because I got evicted. And it's really funny because I was just like, take me to court, go ahead. I wanted to leave anyways. I was unhappy in Albany. I had gotten to a point where I barely left the house because I had so much anxiety about going out. I had been mugged while I was there, and I had been yelled at by just people on the street, and I was just done. When I first moved there, I thought, oh, it's so cool, it's a city, there's so much diversity and blah blah blah, and there's so many restaurants, and you know what? After a few years, all that like, ooh, was gone. Living there sucked so bad. I can't even get into it. It was just awful. I couldn't walk down the street without somebody like just bothering me. It was really, really bad. And I got sick of it. And the people that I dealt with, every apartment I had to deal with like some weird messed up people that lived in the building or lived in the building next to me, and I was just done. I was done with people. And that manager saw it. He could tell that I was done. And the landlord claimed I hadn't paid my rent for the like last couple months, and I was just like, that's not true. And I had proof, because after he said the first month, I didn't have a proof of that, but because I was using money orders. But then the last time, I had one of my friends write out a check. I gave him the money to put in his account, and then he made out a check to the landlord. The landlord claimed he never got it. My friend printed out, had the bank print out, ooh, good, it's done, but I want to finish this first. Had the bank print out the signed and cashed check. It was like, you cashed the check. You got the money. You were such a crazy liar. He also claimed that he never said that cats could be in my apartment. And my lease said it right on it that I could have 2 cats. Obviously I had more than that, and that was not cool, but he said I wasn't supposed to have any at all, and it's like, that's not true. It says right on the lease that I can have 2 cats. And he just had, like, he said that I made lots of noise. I mean, I got to a point where I was, like, afraid to just, like, leave my apartment. I was afraid to make any noise. I was afraid to do anything. And one of my friends was like, just make it happen. And I was just like, I need to leave here. And I thought about moving to Vermont once before. Well, a couple times before, but I kind of was like, I don't have money, blah, blah, you know. But I just made a decision. I was like, I gotta do this. And I called my mother and I was like, I know that you gave me money to help me move into this apartment last year, but I really need to leave Albany. And she agreed. She was like, I don't like you living there. I don't like the things that have happened to you there. You need to leave. And my sister lived not that far away from where I live now in Vermont. And so this friend of mine was just like, just do it. Just look for an apartment and do it. Just make it happen. She was like, you're a witch. Make it happen. And I was just like, you're right. Like, roar, you know, kind of thing. And I did. I made it happen. Like, I looked for apartments. I found this place that I'm still living in. And there was a different manager then for this place too. But he died, sadly. He was okay. He was a little messed up too, but not in a way where he was like bothering me. But I just was like, this wasn't somebody I'd want to be friends with either. Like, he was like racist and homophobic and all sorts of shit. Like, it was like, but no, I wanted this apartment, so I totally played up the fact that I grew up in Cape Cod, and I was a Cape Cod girl. And for some reason, that some people, they just think that like people from Cape Cod are such perfect angels. And let me tell you, that is not the way it is at all. There's a lot of townies and messed up people. Not that townies are messed up people. Just people are like angels and shit. Like, I don't know why he had this idea in his head, but he saw me as this innocent angel. And I told him they were going to do a background check. And I said, it's not going to be good. My credit's not good because of my ex-husband. He ruined my credit. And so he told me when I said I had the apartment, he was like, yeah, he was like, your credit was really bad. You didn't lie about that. And he was like, but I trust you. You're a nice Cape Cod girl. I was like, okay. He never met John. I actually didn't want him to meet John. Because John is like covered in tattoos and he had more piercings back then. It was just like, not a good idea. But we moved here, and John had never moved out of New York. He never lived any place but New York. And so this was like major for him. I remember when we stepped into this apartment, he looked around and he was like, this place is huge. And to me, it was like, this place is decent. Because I grew up in a big Cape style house, and so this flat to me is just that. It's like not, it's nothing major. It's an apartment. It's a big apartment, I guess, for somebody, I don't know. I've had bigger and I've had smaller, so I can say most of the apartments I had in the Cape were way bigger than this. But they also were like, we also had oil heat. Well, we have oil heat here too. It sucks. It's so expensive and it's so hard to deal with. But anyways, so I'm gonna wipe this off. And I've been talking for a while now. But I know some of you like it when I get really chit-chatty, so. Although I think I was looking down a lot instead of looking at you, and I'm sorry about that. I usually don't do that, but today I was just like really in my head. And this stuff makes me look totally weird. So I'm gonna go wipe it off and then I'm gonna come back. So hi, I'm back. My skin actually feels pretty good. It definitely feels very clean. It feels not hydrated, but feels very smooth and plump. But it does feel a little dry, so I'm definitely gonna do my my last little sample of my overnight mask. Yeah, So I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to share and subscribe, all that good stuff. Give me a thumbs up. Sharing is really, really helpful to me, because the more you share it, the more chance people are watching it, and that's very helpful to me. Because I'm really trying hard to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it's been very difficult this year for me to do so. My health, I know, has impacted it a lot, but I'm really trying to get back on track, and so that would be really helpful to me. So anyways, always remember to be kind, even when they slap some yogurt on your face. I don't know. Oh, bye-bye, kitty cats.